Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Would you like even more content? Here's my Patreon. Now onto the stories. Case file number 1087, written by Anonymous. How a shot mysteriously saved me from a car accident. 5 years ago, I was out with two friends. At the time, this group of friends liked to party hard, as did I. We were a few years out of college, living in a resort town. That night, we went out to dinner and then to a bar. We all did a round of shots when we got to the bar. Immediately after the shot, I felt like I needed to throw up. It was odd, because I had not drank much at all at dinner, and I was very accustomed to taking shots. This was a very bizarre reaction for me. I had been driven there by one of the friends, but I immediately decided I needed to leave, so I got a cab, went home, and felt completely fine when I got home. I would usually have been out until 4 to 5 a.m., but I was home by 11 p.m. I watched TV and went to bed, but the whole night I had a weird feeling. I woke up the next morning, and the two girls I was with had been in a car accident. The person driving was drunk and texting, and she hit a huge telephone pole. The pole fell onto the car, almost splitting the car in half. By the grace of God, the universe, something, neither of them were harmed. But if someone was sitting in the back seat, they would have potentially been dead. I am 100% certain I would have gotten into the car and likely would have been sitting in that seat. I don't fuck with drinking or driving, or anyone who attempts to drink and drive anymore. Case notes for file 1087. How a shot mysteriously saved me from a car accident. Wow, so this is incredible. Was this some sort of guardian angel that interfaced with your subconscious, but wasn't able to induce a voice like most hear? Instead, giving you a strong sensation of being sick to induce you to leave earlier. I mean, you literally would have stayed another 6 hours or 5 or 6 hours otherwise. You definitely would have gotten into the car because you would have had so much alcohol. Your senses, your rationality would have been severed. It's one reason why I really don't like alcohol, especially if you don't have someone you trust that is sober to keep you in check. If you have someone there that you trust that is sober, designated driver, but not just for driving, designated life assistant while your mind isn't working, then okay. It just seems unnecessary to me. The other possibility was that your own mind interfacing with the buffered reality, so not a entity that was giving you like a guardian angel, but just your own mind reaching into the future, understanding what was going to happen, and then alerted you via making you feel ill. Either way, I'm happy you're safe. Case file number 1088, written by thesabrinablake. Impossible escape. The dog that broke the matrix. Our bonus room downstairs has doors that we shut and lock fairly often when trying to clean, because my dog likes to chase the vacuum. Well, recently, myself and my mother were the only ones home, and I was helping her clean for a party we were having the next day. So we locked our dog in and heard her scratching at the door. She cannot reach the door handle, and these doors are heavy. You have to give them a good tug in order to open them. Well, somehow, about 10 minutes later into our cleaning, my dog shows up in the kitchen. Me and my mom were super confused, because we'd been with each other the whole time, so neither of us let her out. Assuming she did somehow bust out, we went to check. Both doors were still locked. So how did she get out? There was no way my dog unlocked the door, let herself out, and relocked the door. It gets more confusing. So we joked about the weird situation and went back to cleaning, assuming our dog was just a master escape artist. Our dog wanders off to the living room where her bed is, so we assume she went to lay down. It's kind of her usual spot. As we continue cleaning, we notice from the kitchen window, our dog is now out in the backyard running around. The only way out there would be our front door or the sliding glass door in our living room, which were both completely closed. We were so freaked out we stopped cleaning and just kept an eye on her until the rest of the family came home. Case notes for file 1088. The impossible escape. The dog that broke the matrix. So there are so many accounts of dogs performing Houdini-like escapes and seemingly so in a way that is oblivious to themselves. They don't seem like they're affected by it in any way, as if they're almost de-rendered too, but I'm not sure. I know I'm convinced that dogs have souls, and humans phasing in and out is very rare. That said, it does happen, so maybe the explanation is that. Though for it to happen twice in the span of like 20 minutes maybe, 10 minutes, that is beyond the pale for me. No easy answer. Creepy file number 90, written by Excellent Raccoon 32. I thought I was safe in my own home, until I found these photos. One morning I woke up and noticed my camera was on top of the sofa opposite my bed. I knew I didn't put it there because it was a very expensive camera and it could easily fall from this place. I had placed it in my cabinet. I went over, picked it up, turned it on and clicked the button to view photos. There were hundreds of photos of me sleeping, all seemingly taken from the back of the sofa. I was literally so freaked out I couldn't stop crying. I lived alone. It was just photo after photo of me sleeping. The photos were taken in quick snap, where the camera takes approximately 1 photo per second. I later realized the camera didn't even have a quick snap setting, so technically it was impossible for the camera to take the photos at all. The timestamp suggests all photos were taken between 2 and 3 a.m. I've never figured out what the fuck happened, how the camera got to the sofa, or how it is even possible for a camera with no quick snap to quick snap, but I still have a USB with the photos on it, and it still freaks me the fuck out. To answer a few questions, I am safe. This happened several years ago. I now live with my partner, and we have several dogs and a very good home security system. There was no sign of forced entry into my home. I own the home and had the locks changed when I moved there because I felt uneasy about living alone. Good hunch, huh? I did go to the police. They did not give a crap. They said it's probably a friend playing a prank. My mom had a key to the house. Weirdly, my memory was actually jogged about something potentially related I had completely forgotten about that was sitting deep, deep down in my memory bank. Approximately 12 months before the camera incident, I received a letter in my P.O. box that was typed, not handwritten, and addressed directly to me, saying if I did not agree to meet with the sender, they would end me while I slept. To be honest, I thought it was some stupid joke, because I couldn't think of anybody that would want me to meet with them, and I binned the letter and never told anybody. I got 3 or 4 of those threatening letters, demanding that I respond, but no actual way of responding or no hint about who it was from. The sender wrote like I should know who it is, but I did not. One letter did provide a time and place to meet, but of course I did not attend. That was the final letter. I did move houses and change my postal address shortly after the camera incident though. I am alive right now, so obviously they are all talk, no action. Case notes for the creepy file number 90. I thought I was safe in my own home, until I found these photos. It does sound like a tech-savvy stalker, given all the letters you received prior to this, but rare for someone with those skills to descend to this level. I mean, tech skills, burglary skills, and all for what? To then leave you alone after all of it? Maybe he was arrested separately for some other reason, and then you moved and he gave up, or he's still locked away? Something like that. But it does sound like he did manage to break in and took all those photos of you, with maybe a setting that you didn't realize the phone had, or the camera had, the quick snap setting. And yeah, the only reason to do that is to make you fearful, but it's very similar to those letters that you received. So I do think they're linked. Good thing that you moved away, and now this hasn't occurred again. Keep those dogs and security systems well oiled. Well, the dog's just well fed, that'll do. Now time for the quote of the day. Everything in moderation, including moderation. Oscar Wilde. Yeah, okay, I'll agree with this, and I tell that to myself whenever I'm eating a dozen donuts, which happens more often than I care to admit. Let's leave that to the side. Honey glaze, ultimate donut. Yeast donuts, by the way. Cake donuts are just, no. They're no good. Well, no, they're not no good, they're just nowhere near the level of a yeast donut, which is chewy and soft and fluffy and airy. Just the perfect texture. Cake donuts are just, fried cake. I'd rather just have cake. Like the video, subscribe, Kinetic Symphony signing off.